While we are streaming this event virtually, we would like to start by acknowledging the custodians of the land on which you are all watching our demo day today. Our acknowledgement reflects our commitment to a culture of inclusion and respect that begins with those who were here first and whose continued presence is important to our future. And we would also like to acknowledge the advocates who have played a role in advancing the rights of people with disability, leading to address the inequalities faced by people with disability. They have paved the way for us. We carry a privilege and a responsibility because of that history. We are better together. Please note this presentation does not equate to financial advice. Investment in a new business carries risks. Please do your own research.
The remarkable logo appears with the words #RA23 Demo Day. A young woman appears.
Welcome to Remarkable Demo Day 2023. My name is Felipa, and I'm the head of programs at Remarkable.
Another woman.
And my name is Molly, and I'm the director of Remarkable US. This is our second year running a US program after a successful 2022 pilot, and we're thrilled to have a full cohort of US startups in this year's program.
Felipa.
This event celebrates our 8th cohort of startups that have completed the Remarkable Accelerator. And this year, our program welcomed founders from across the globe, including companies from Canada and the United Kingdom, as well as Australia. And as Molly mentioned, it also marks the second official cohort out of the United States.
Startup owners show their tech.
From brain-computer interface technology in everyday life to extended reality navigation solutions. In the next hour, you're going to hear from the founders of exciting disability tech startups who are building products designed to positively impact the lives of people with disabilities.
Molly.
This screening includes sign interpretation, closed captions, and audio descriptions. We also invite you to join the conversation on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And please use the hashtag #DisabilityTech. During the pitches, if you love what you're seeing and want to learn more, just go to the buttons at the bottom of the screen. There you'll find a few different options for how you can learn more about the pitch you're watching, including accessing the pitch materials or connecting directly with the startup. The startups are online now and would be thrilled to hear from you.
Remarkable is made possible by Cerebral Palsy Alliance and Cerebral Palsy Alliance Research Foundation. And we would like to thank the generous support of our partners: Telstra Foundation, iCare New South Wales, Viv Court, TPG Telecom Foundation, and the Ian Potter Foundation.
The company's logos are shown.
The startups will be presented one after the other with a short intermission in the middle. You can see the order of the startups presenting below on your screen. Without further ado, I am excited to now pass the screen over to our first group of startups.
The remarkable logo. The name Ori appears. A man with glasses and a black shirt gives his presentation.
9 years ago, my sister-in-law Karina sustained a spinal cord injury in a car accident. As she began her rehab, I learned that people with SCI would rather improve their bladder function than be able to walk again. That's why I started Ori. My name is Sovik Paul, and our mission at Ori is to prevent life-threatening infections for intermittent catheter users. Karina is one of 600,000 people in the US who need to use 6 to 8 single-use intermittent catheters a day. These catheters are basically plastic straws with holes on either end. To use them, users go into the bathroom, insert the catheter into the urethra, and leave it in until urine stops flowing from the bladder. Afterwards, these catheters are removed and thrown away, and altogether over $2 billion worth of catheters are purchased in the US every year. The problem is that urinary tract infections are a leading cause of death for people with spinal cord injuries and other intermittent catheter users. There is a 50% annual chance of a severe complicated UTI due to the use of standard catheters. The average user experiences 1 to 2 UTIs a year, and an annual supply of these catheters is about $5,000. There are safer no-touch catheters that reduce infections by over 30% because of their insertion sleeves and introducer tips that reduce contact contamination. Because they cost almost $20,000 for an annual supply, they are covered for less than 7% of Medicare patients. Ori uses a tech-enabled approach to make intermittent catheterization safer, more convenient, and more sustainable. Our reusable no-touch catheters have the same features that help reduce UTIs, but are designed to be reused 100 times with our patented portable smart catheter case, which completely automates the cleaning, disinfection, and lubrication of catheters with tap water and prepackaged supplies. When we surveyed catheter users, 81% wanted to switch to our system. Why? Because our system allows us to provide infection-reducing features of no-touch catheters at the same price point as standard catheters. We provide a cost-effective means to reduce urinary tract infections for our users. We've demonstrated repeatable and robust disinfection efficacy with early prototypes at the University of Notre Dame. We further developed the prototypes and are preparing for FDA submission in early 2024. We have 4 issued patents, 1 pending patent, and additional planned submissions. We have FDA sign-off on our testing strategy, and the FDA has even granted us the Safer Technologies designation after reviewing our early test data. We're expecting expedited review once we do submit. The team at Ori has over 75 years of experience in healthcare, has commercialized 17 medical devices, and has sold over $50 million in durable medical equipment. We have a broad coalition of support from investors like Lakehouse Ventures and grant funders like the National Science Foundation and the National Institute of Disabilities, all of whom believe in our mission. We're always looking to connect with like-minded investors and innovators. Join us in making infections and preventable death a thing of the past for catheter users.
The presentation ends and the remarkable logo appears. Then the logo for Hominid X with a broken pattern of double X's. A young man starts his presentation.
There's probably an object next to you right now. Pick it up, but without squeezing your fingers. It's impossible. I'm Thane Hunt, founder and CEO of Hominid X. We build wearable tools that help people to reclaim the use of their hands. Why? Because there are over 200 million people who can't use their hands, making everyday tasks difficult or impossible. Physical therapy can help, but often takes years and won't result in a full recovery. And in the meantime, the adaptive solutions are either specialized to one task or too expensive. So we designed Fiber, our easy-to-use adaptive grasping tool that empowers its user with a secure and versatile grip around almost any object. A user can put it on in under 30 seconds and wear it comfortably all day to help them complete any task that requires grip strength. Our design guides the hand into a variety of different grasps, and it does this without any cumbersome motors or batteries. That's right, our solution is entirely mechanical. There's no other product like it, and we're patent protected. Our early testers have held thousands of different objects, and the results are clear. People with hand disabilities are riding bicycles, preparing food, and getting back to doing what they love. Let's take an example, Megan, who loves to bake.
A video of Megan.
Megan suffered a stroke when she was younger and lost the ability to use her left hand. When we met, she was using just one hand for her baking projects. Now with Fiber, she's using both hands. She's been able to focus more on her recipes and less on her grasp. She recently opened a bakery and summed up the magic of her experience with Fiber to her followers on TikTok.
Dude, it works! I did it! Easy peasy. Oh, this makes me so happy. I haven't been able to do this for years.
Stories like Megan's are everywhere. Millions of people needed help with grasping and holding, and they haven't been served until now. We sell our products directly to the users or through their occupational therapists. Since launching Fiber last year, we've worked with clinicians and users all across the United States. Once someone wears Fiber, they understand. We have a strong team. With my background in prosthetics and hardware development, I invented Fiber. My co-founder Sonia did the marketing for a $200 million revenue business, and our manufacturing leader, Junior, brings 20 years of experience in scaling new products to mass production. Try to imagine someone you care about, unable to pick up the phone when you call, or giving up on their hobby because they lack the grip strength to do it. With Fiber, we've already been able to put the most fulfilling moments of people's lives back into their own hands. So visit us online at hominidx.com to purchase Fiber or to schedule a demo. And together, we'll create a world where no hand is left behind. Thank you.
The remarkable logo. Another logo appears, Spine X. The words are handwritten in a white box. A middle-aged woman speaks.
Imagine if you or someone you love was unable to move their body as they pleased or control bladder function on their own. For millions of people in the US living with neurological conditions, this is their reality. Here at SpineX, we're developing incredible new technology to treat these conditions by using electrical impulses to retrain the spinal cord. Our technology is built on groundbreaking research from the top scientists in the field of neuromodulation and is done non-invasively, without needles or surgery. Although our technology has many potential applications, we have chosen to focus our first 2 commercial products on conditions with huge unmet clinical needs: movement disorder in children with cerebral palsy or CP, and incontinence in adults with neurogenic bladder. These conditions together affect more than 2.5 million Americans. Existing treatments are simply not good enough because they don't fix the problems, they only reduce symptoms. At best, they're short-term solutions like drugs that cover up symptoms but have unmanageable side effects. And at worst, they're invasive treatments like Botox injections or nerve-severing surgery, causing irreversible long-term reductions in function. With SpineX, now there's hope for these patients and their families.
A video is shown.
This is a 3-year-old child with CP. Before SpineX, he was unable to take steps on his own, but when we provided SpineX therapy, within 5 minutes he was able to take steps. We've seen similar results in line with their functional level with nearly all of the more than 40 children who have undergone treatment with SpineX therapy so far.
A girl walks upstairs.
The really exciting part? We see durable improvements that last for several months beyond the final SpineX treatment. Nothing else on the market can do this.
Another girl walks upstairs.
Neurogenic bladder, or NB, is common in spinal cord injury, multiple sclerosis, and stroke. NB often involves incontinence, frequent urinary tract infections, loss of sleep from nighttime voids, and use of catheters to empty the bladder. For some people, catheterization can take 20 minutes each time and must be done anywhere from 4 to more than 10 times per day, including several times through the night. With SpineX therapy, we're able to reduce incontinence episodes by 70%.
Charts are shown.
And if leaks do happen, they're smaller. Patients report feeling more in control, they don't need as many catheters, and they can finally sleep through the night. How does it work? The common thread between all of these conditions is that messages between the brain and the spinal cord don't get through clearly. SpineX acts like a hearing aid for the spinal cord, amplifying the signals that need to get through while cutting out background noise.
An animated demo.
We deliver special electrical pulses through the skin to rewire brain patterns and encourage neuroplasticity, producing long-term results.
The faculty.
What's next? Our team of highly experienced medtech professionals is excited to bring these technologies to market. We expect to receive FDA approval for and launch the first of our products in late 2024. We will reach our target customers by working directly with our collaborators in the hospitals, rehabilitation centers, and physical therapy clinics where they are already being treated, so that we can make sure that we reach as many potential users as possible. We've been told by our patients and their families that the impact of our technology is magical, and we agree. Join us in our quest to bring this amazing technology to market. We're launching a financing round, recruiting for clinical trials, and interested in talking to people with lived experience with any of these conditions. Please reach out to us. We would love to talk to you.
The remarkable logo appears. Next, the logo for Spring Rose. A woman appears next to a photo of herself as a child next to her grandmother.
My grandmother Rose was an unstoppable woman, but she had chronic pain and arthritis that made it challenging to get dressed in the morning. And she's not alone. In the US, 1 in 3 adult women has some form of limited mobility. That's because there are over 50 different injuries, illnesses, and disabilities that affect women of all ages and impact their ability to get dressed painlessly and independently. Everything from a temporary broken bone or frozen shoulder to more permanent things like arthritis, MS, stroke, and cerebral palsy. Bras are a particularly acute problem. That's because traditional bras require 2 hands, high dexterity to connect the hooks, and the ability to move your shoulders behind you. Hi, I'm Nicole Cuervo, founder and CEO of Spring Rose. We design adaptive intimate apparel to improve quality of life for women with limited mobility. We've designed an adaptive bra that gives women back their time, their dignity, and their independence. It can be put on multiple different ways, including with one hand, or with limited dexterity or two bad shoulders by putting it overhead or stepping into it. Adaptive apparel is expected to reach $400 billion by 2026 worldwide. North America is responsible for 46% of that. So the opportunity is there. And we know women want this because on ad tests, we had 10 times the click-through rate at 1/5 of the cost of industry averages. And that's because there's no good solution on the market right now. Currently, women must compromise. They have to compromise on functionality, comfort, attractiveness, sizing, or safety with pacemakers and other health implants. With us, there is no compromise. And here are some of the comments from women who tried our product. Pamela mentions how she loved having something easy to take off at the end of the day when she had a flare-up from her multiple sclerosis. Suzanne enjoyed the flexibility in the design because with her chronic pain, she doesn't know how she's going to wake up some days. And Libby mentioned how comfortable the bra was, which is what customers care the most about in our survey tests. As such, our go-to-market strategy is threefold. First, we're investing in search and digital ads, which we've already done really well in, and there's specific long-tail keywords that people are looking for, such as bra for women with arthritic hands and bra for stroke survivors that apply to us. We're also partnering with physical and occupational therapists across the country so they can recommend our product to their patients. And we are doing pop-ups around senior living and retirement communities because we know that 84% of apparel purchases still happen through a combination of online and in person. We launched with pre-orders in May and already have sales, and we're launching fully in the market at the end of the summer. I hope you'll join us in improving quality of life for millions of people. You can buy our bra for yourself or a loved one, and if you're a clinician, you can email me to set up a demo and get you free samples. Or you can connect with me and we can figure out how else we can partner. Thank you so much.
The remarkable logo. Then the logo for XR Navigation. The letters XR appear in a rocket ship graphic above the word navigation. A young bearded man appears.
Hello, my name is Brandon Biggs, and I am the CEO of XR Navigation. Both my co-founder Chris and I are blind, which means we've never had access to digital geographic information, but most geographic information is presented exclusively in the digital format. This means that we, along with the 285 million blind individuals in the world, have never had access to information on weather maps, voting maps, or more crucially, evacuation maps. Last year, during the wildfires in California, I had no idea where the fire was to know if I should evacuate, and if so, where to, because I couldn't see the map. The Americans with Disabilities Act says every public website needs to be accessible, but here is my experience with the 99% of maps on the web today with my screen reader.
A demonstration.
Clickable show street map radio menu item check sub menu out of menu bar map clickable blank blank blank.
The other 1% of maps use a text alternative, such as tables or turn-by-turn directions that completely remove the geographic information that makes a map a map. Can you imagine looking at a map and only seeing turn-by-turn directions? We couldn't. So we invented Audium, the world's most inclusive digital, visual, auditory, and tactile map, viewer, and editor. Audium can either supplement or completely replace existing mapping solutions with only a few lines of code. Our patented auditory and tactile solution allows blind users to freely access geographic information by moving a character around the map with their arrow keys or other controller, very similar to a game.
A blind woman uses the app.
Blank space 2744.
This allows users to understand the spatial relationships between locations. Whether you're trying to find the bathroom at a football stadium or wanting to know COVID cases in nearby states, Audium allows blind and sighted users to fully access geographic information. We currently have 3 paying customers that represent our initial customer segment of businesses, governments, universities, and colleges with a blind population and who lack the infrastructure to allow them to navigate their campus. Legislation and legal action are at an all-time high around digital accessibility, costing businesses and governments billions of dollars each year. We are proud to be the first inclusive map viewer on the market, and thankfully for our customers, onboarding to Audium only requires an initial implementation and a yearly licensing fee. Our team is mostly blind and has decades of experience in the blindness and assistive technology related startup space. I am getting my PhD on non-visual mapping with one of the most renowned sonification researchers in the world. If you would like to learn more, we would love to talk with you about making the world more inclusive. Thank you.
Brandon's email is provided, brandon.biggs@xrnavigation.io. The remarkable logo appears. Then another logo, Enabled Play. A cartoon octopus happily holds game devices in each of its tentacles. A young man begins his presentation.
Hi, I'm Alex Dunn, the founder of Enabled Play, the platform that integrates personalized and accessible controls to help brands reach and support more customers of all abilities. We got started building AI augmented controls because back in 2020, my brother Brian was trying to keep up with his friends while playing video games, but he was getting left behind. As an AI engineer and a former founder, I knew there had to be a simple fix for this. A new way to communicate with devices and software that adapt to the individual rather than pushing them to depend on hardware that isn't accessible or equitable to them. And it got us thinking, because the truth is that over 600 million people globally cannot access technology because simple software is not designed for their accessibility needs. Here in the US, that's nearly 1 in 5 Americans. And as 91% of businesses now expect their customers to engage with their business in a software-first platform, it means they're leaving behind 600 million potential customers. As an example, for one of our customers, a Fortune 50 bank, they estimate that there's more than 12 million unbanked and underbanked prospect customers in the US alone who cannot become their customer because their applications are not accessible. That's money that they and anyone else who's trying to reach more customers is leaving on the table. In fact, we estimate that enterprise businesses are leaving on average $33 billion in revenue by not building for accessibility. So we built Enabled Play, a personalized set of controls for users that let them augment and automate their own technology with voice controls, face expressions, body gestures, motion controls, virtual buttons, and more.
Alex demonstrates the application using facial gestures to manipulate various games. Next, he prepares a slideshow presentation.
New slide. Type "This is my new title."
It's a platform that adapts to each user's abilities using the latest innovations in AI and machine learning. Even more importantly, it can also operate entirely offline, so your voice and video is never recorded, it's never streamed, and it's never shared beyond the device you're using. Finally, it allows each user to bring their personalized profiles and preferences to each app, game, and service they want to control, which means businesses don't have to find the right way to support each unique user's needs and preferences. They've already been empowered to do that for themselves and can bring those preferences and controls directly to those apps, games, websites, and services. It also provides a new surface for your business's services to be discovered too. We recently finished raising our seed investment round and are not looking for additional investors at this point, but we're eager to meet with heads of accessibility, DE&I, and technology working at companies that are eager to discover how through a simple software integration with our platform, they can gain access to hundreds of millions of new users too.
Words read, please note, Enabled Play will be rebranding as Jovable in the near future. Stay tuned for more updates. Felipa Araujo appears.
I would like to introduce Jackie Coates from Telstra Foundation, who has been one of our longest ongoing supporters. Jackie will be announcing the winner of this year's Telstra People's Choice Award, a cash prize to one of the cohort from this year.
Hi everyone, it's great to be part of Remarkable Demo Day again this year. Thought I'd cut straight to it and announce that the Telstra People's Choice Award this year goes to Focus Bear. Congratulations Focus Bear, you'll receive a $5,000 donation from the Telstra Foundation. And congratulations to the whole Remarkable team and all the amazing startups. We think you do an incredible job making the world more inclusive for everyone. Have a great demo day. Bye.
Molly.
We're excited to welcome you back. Now to enjoy the second half of Demo Day, featuring an amazing group of RA23 startup pitches.
The Remarkable logo appears on a gradient purple background. Then the startup company logo appears. Indie. The word is in lowercase letters. Horizontal bars rest between the ascender of the letter D. A young man in a blue polo sweater appears next to a graphic of a square-shaped device.
This is Sophie, the adaptable switch for your home. And this is Sophie, my youngest sister. Sophie is a genuine ray of sunshine who finds her joy in good food and singing Christmas songs all year round. In 2001, Sophie experienced a severe brain trauma and as a result now requires one-to-one care on a daily basis. Sophie's experience is what inspires our vision. Hi, I'm Pete Beckett, the founder of Indie. and we're developing technology to enable the tens of millions of people with motor disabilities who stand to benefit from integrating smart home technology into their homes. Currently, home tech is limited by its input devices. In a world ruled by phone apps, quick and universal control is not a given. Voice assistants have been a great step in the right direction, but there are many scenarios where users cannot or do not want to use their voice as a primary input method. Meanwhile, companies operating in the assistive tech space excel in designing solutions with specific user requirements. Unfortunately, to date, most implementations of environmental control have been prohibitively expensive and limited in both scope and capability. That's what led us to develop Sophie, the switch, not the sister.
Shown beside him.
Sophie supports adaptive switches and offers audio-visual feedback and connects directly to the smart home without the need for a mobile device.
This button controls your bedroom lights. Press the button again to toggle on and off.
The square device has 4 buttons with lights on each.
Sophie can act as a Bluetooth switch for iPads, phones, and computers, and at just $350 is more capable than its nearest Bluetooth-only rivals, and for a lower price.
Saving $1,000.
Over the past 18 months, we've developed the hardware and software and tested with potential users. We're now really close to delivering on our mission of providing new and improved ways to enable independence at home. But the next 18 months is set to be even more exciting. This spring, we're welcoming interested parties to evaluate our hardware and explore commercial partnerships as we move towards a launch selling into the NDIS early next year. And this is just the beginning. In the future, we want to take our tech out of the home and into public spaces, providing more convenient ways for our customers to interact with the world around them. And all this thanks to Sophie, the switch, and the sister.
The presentation ends and the remarkable logo appears. Then another logo, a hand-drawn blueberry under the words, The Care Co. A young woman with long brown hair appears.
I'd like you to imagine a primary school class. This might be your child's class or a child you know. And there could be about 30 kids. If it's a classroom of 30 kids, we expect about 1 in 5 of those children to already have experienced a traumatic event. We expect 1 in 7 of those kids to already or soon to be struggling with their mental health. And on average, about 1 in 10 of those young people is disabled. I'm sure you can imagine, in a classroom of 30 children, that's a lot of need. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. We know that 1 in 3 adults struggles with their mental health. We're losing about $5 trillion in the workplace and 1 in 5 sick days for the same reason. Depression, anxiety, and substance abuse disorder are 3 of the world's leading disabilities. And it's expected that almost all people will face at least 1 significantly traumatic event in their lifetime. The problem isn't just our declining level of mental health and well-being. The problem is that we're not learning the skills needed to manage these challenges, and we simply don't have enough supply to meet the need. My name is Brianna, and I'm the founder of The Care Co. I'm a Canadian First Nations woman studying a master's in psychology with Harvard. I've worked in the trauma-informed education space, am a 2-time entrepreneur, and 20 years ago, I was a Care Co kid. Now a flourishing, healthy adult, I'm just one example of what can be achieved with early intervention. And I spend a lot of time looking for where the opportunities are. Chances are you or someone you know is a parent or guardian, and you're probably pretty busy. While you may not feel like a mental health expert, you've got one silver lining.
She shows a chart.
Chances are you send your child to school. If you're an educator, you might feel plagued with questions like, how do I teach mental health in the classroom? Again, an opportunity. You're teaching fundamental life skills every day. Psychologists are a fantastic, effective model, and while they're hard to scale in their current form, the psychology community gives us an evidence-based, best practice way to work with kids. And this brings us to The Care Co. The Care Co is an in-classroom software that teaches kids between the ages of 5 and 12 mental health habits. A self-paced learning tool we offer, easy lesson planning, agency, and a unique way to build mental health habits from day one.
She shows a tablet.
One of the features we're super proud of include our ability-based, evidence-based model, support for school disability funding reports, and activities that are mapped to health subject teaching needs. So where do we go from here? We're beta testing our app with 5 schools and 1,500 students. Next, we're partnering with the Cerebral Palsy Alliance and positioning the Care Co in front of about 1,200 schools in September 2023 and officially launch in October. Our future plans include the psychology, disability, and social work communities, as well as an app for parents and guardians at home. And we have one really audacious goal: every child, every school. To get there, we offer subscriptions priced per student per month. Schools can choose a 6-month or 12-month license. And considering the 2 billion kids worldwide, we're just getting started. First targeting 1 million students, we'll be grossing $60 million in annual recurring revenue if we reach that goal.
A barcode appears.
For those ready to see mental health skills taught in every school, I ask that you scan this QR code to view a product demo, visit our website, or join our product updates and investment opportunity newsletters. And if you're on board with our North Star, join our mission. We would love to have you along.
Brianna's presentation concludes, and the remarkable logo appears again. Then another logo, Vertetic. A letter V in 2 separate colors appears next to the word. A man wearing glasses and a white band collar shirt appears.
If you were to get a leg or an arm amputated, you need to wait over 4 months to get access to a prosthesis. While you wait, you lose function in the affected limb and become more at risk of suffering phantom limb pain throughout your life. This time delay costs healthcare systems around the world over $5 billion every year. I'm Ricardo, co-founder and CEO of Vertetic, a digital health company enabling people to kickstart the journey with a prosthesis through the power of games and immersive technologies. By practicing with a virtual prosthesis, people can start functional rehabilitation and learn to use a prosthesis as soon as they can start with therapy. We co-design or gamify clinical interventions with the community to ensure that they are evidence-based and representative of living with a prosthesis.
Virtual reality.
Ultimately, our products help people to be able to fully use their prosthesis from day one.
A home setting.
Our first product, Maya Hand XP, allows people to learn to use a prosthetic hand through guided practice in VR. Our second product helps people manage their phantom limb pain through active limb visualizations in VR.
A soccer game.
Our products can be used in the clinic or at home as prescribed by a qualified clinician, which can be covered by disability insurance like the NDIS, TAC, and iCare. Vertetic provides all the hardware, software, training, and support that both clinicians and their patients need to use our products. We partner with prosthesis manufacturers to feature their products within our system, helping them reach potential customers at an earlier stage. That is why, for the past 2 years, the #1 prosthesis manufacturer, Ottobock, has been collaborating with us to incorporate the products into our system. We have submitted the regulatory application in Australia for our first product, and we plan to submit the application for the second product in the first quarter of next year. We work with 2 clinics in Melbourne who are ready to pilot our products to validate their clinical effectiveness and the business model of our offering. These pilots will inform our commercial rollout throughout Australia and how we can work with Ottobock to bring our offerings to the world. We are a diverse and passionate team with a wealth of experience in the development and research of virtual reality and prosthetic devices, complemented by expertise in finance and management consulting. Our clinical advisors are expert clinical practitioners and world-leading researchers in prosthetics, rehabilitation, and pain science. Our commercialization advisors are global leaders in the commercialization of medical devices. But most importantly, we share a passion about making a positive impact in the lives of people living with limb loss.
A VR kitchen.
Following regulatory approval, we will launch our first product with partner clinics. To help drive revenues and growth, we'll be seeking further capital in the next 6 months to scale our product offerings in Australia. If you are interested in joining us, please reach out.
Ricardo Garcia Rosa's email is shown, ricardo@vertetic.com.au. The remarkable logo reappears. Then a logo for Memo Rehab, showing a graphic illustrating a ventral view of a brain in 2 sections, one a solid white color and the other with circuits. A young man in a white shirt appears.
Hi everyone, we are Memo Rehab, and our mission is to enhance the experience of cognitive rehabilitation so we can make it more accessible, supportive, and data-driven. We are a post-revenue company looking for partners to help us increase our outreach and grow our platform. Globally, 1 in 6 people will live with a neurological condition, resulting from things like stroke, epilepsy, traumatic brain injury, and more. Sadly, many patients cannot access cognitive rehab due to their inability to travel independently, their distance from the clinic, or the lack of clinicians available with the time or space to run interventions.
An old man at home.
Even when interventions are available, patients often lack the tools to practice newly learned skills or establish new habits. and clinicians are often unable to monitor how their patients are engaging with the program outside the clinic, leaving them unable to provide support when it's needed most. At Memo Rehab, we support both clinicians and patients through the rehabilitation journey. For clinicians, we allow them to reach patients from anywhere using telehealth and track their patients' progress with data analytics. For patients, we help them better understand their condition by providing educational resources and reinforce newly learned skills using computerized training and automatic reminders. Imagine the efficiency.
At a computer.
Weekly, group-based telehealth sessions.
On the application.
Practice with digital tools and consistent feedback. We have begun our journey by adapting a well-established group-based memory intervention to our platform with over 10 years of clinical research backing its efficacy. And in the future, we aim to expand our services by adapting additional well-established interventions to our delivery model. Right now, we are working on several projects to support Memo Rehab, like building a dedicated research platform to test our materials, training and education programs for clinicians via accredited workshops and seminars, and a clinician registry to help patients find the right professional. Since our incorporation in 2021, we have worked with organisations, universities and hospitals. For example, we have partnered with both local and international organisations in the neurological injury space. We have teamed up with universities such as Monash to conduct clinical research, showing that patients using our platform increased in several key areas related to memory. And we are proud to say that major hospitals, health districts and clinics across the country have purchased our annual licences with dozens of patients successfully using Memo Rehab. Our team brings a wealth of passion and experience, including Laurie Miller, a clinical neuropsychologist with over 30 years experience, Kyle Cortese, that's me, with experience in program management, and Pranshu Midha, a skilled front-end developer. Today, we are seeking partners who believe in our vision. So if you can help us reach more clinicians, link them with patients, or add interventions to our platform, we would love to hear from you. So, if you are interested in joining us to revolutionise cognitive rehabilitation, use the QR code to visit our website and let's schedule a call.
The code appears.
With Memo Rehab, we're not just imagining the future of cognitive rehabilitation, we're building it.
The presentation ends and the remarkable logo materializes. Another logo appears, Possibility Neurotechnologies. An asterisk appears beside the words. A young woman with long brown hair speaks.
I'm Dion Kelly, co-founder and CEO of Possibility Neurotechnologies, the company that's empowering the future of inclusion with our assistive technology solutions that convert thought to action.
A photo of a girl.
This is Claire. Claire is a 6-year-old girl with quadriplegic cerebral palsy. She can't speak or move, which hinders her ability to use current assistive technologies. Though she's very smart and capable, her physical limitations often make it difficult for her to communicate and express her abilities. Around the world, there are millions of children like Claire who face similar challenges. Their access to basic human rights, including self-expression, play, and independence, is often restricted. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, allow users to control devices using their brainwaves, including household appliances and power mobility chairs. However, BCIs and their applications are not yet readily available to end users like Claire, because the middle component, enabling control of these external devices, has been confined to research environments. Our proprietary technology, the Think2Switch, fills this gap in providing a bridge between BCIs and the devices that they can control. Using a BCI headset, a user can think about a desired intention and use that thought to control a switch-adapted device through translation of the thought to action by the Think2Switch.
Graphics of the device.
We're packaging our Think2Switch with a commercial BCI headset and environmental control device to provide a ready-to-use, plug-and-play solution for children to immediately access their environments and participate in life activities. We've innovatively filled a significant gap in the market with our user-friendly, portable Think2Switch system. Unlike existing middleware solutions that are typically restricted to lab environments, our unique system is portable and ready for immediate plug-and-play application. Our initial target market is children with quadriplegia, of which there are 36,000 resulting from CP in developed countries alone. Our entry into this market will leverage specialized healthcare networks therapeutic communities, and targeted marketing strategies. Subsequently, we plan to expand our reach to adults with quadriplegia, a demographic of more than 9 million individuals in developed countries. This will involve partnerships with rehabilitation centers, adult care facilities, and relevant healthcare providers. Our long-term strategy involves penetrating the mass market of able-bodied children, a demographic of approximately 80 million in North America. In this phase, we'll leverage mainstream retail channels and broad-based marketing strategies. With our Think to Switch technology, Claire is actively participating in activities that were once impossible. From baking cookies with her little brothers, to blending her own meals, making lemonade, and even participating in their family tradition of pickling. Claire's mom said, "It's a light at the end of the tunnel. The possibilities are endless." As one of the few teams globally focused on researching BCIs for children, our multidisciplinary group of clinicians, engineers, and business development specialists are leading the way in this untapped market. With a shared passion for making a difference, we're driving forward the development of integrated BCI solutions.
Photos of the team members.
We believe that everyone deserves equal opportunities, and our vision is to foster an inclusive society where this is possible. Our next goal is to significantly expand access to our product to better serve our primary target market of children with quadriplegia. In order to achieve this, we're planning to raise a $2 million funding round later this year.
A projected timeline.
If you're a passionate investor who shares our vision of an inclusive society, we'd love to start a conversation. We're also interested in connecting with potential partners and customers who could benefit from our technology. With your support, we can bring BCI to the millions of individuals who need it most. Let's work together to create a future where everyone, regardless of their physical abilities, has the chance to express themselves, to play, to create, and to live independently. Are you ready to join us on this journey?
Dion's presentation ends and the remarkable logo appears. Then another logo. A cartoon face of a smiling bear appears next to the words, Focus Bear. A young man with short brown hair and an Argyle sweater begins his presentation.
Hey, I'm Jeremy, the founder of Focus Bear. I've got ADHD and autism, which is my superpower. My brain constantly fires out creative ideas, and I can concentrate on my ideas for hours on end. I've started multiple businesses, sold my last one, and I've had a pretty good career. However, it didn't start that way. I got fired from my first 5 jobs, which was both financially destabilizing and a massive hit to my self-esteem. I turned my career around, but many neurodivergent people never experience stable employment. Unemployment rates amongst people with autism are 8 times higher than for neurotypical folks, and it's also an issue for people with ADHD. With more and more people getting diagnosed, this issue is only getting worse. We need a way to tap into the creativity and problem-solving skills that neurodivergent people can offer. I've been working on an app called Focus Bear that can help neurodivergent people channel their hyperfocus and not get distracted. Speaking of channels, I found this awesome competitive axe throwing channel on YouTube. It's so good that I just have to show you right now.
Jeremy grabs an open laptop. He looks at the screen and an alert with a bear's face appears.
Oh, this pop-up is saying that axe throwing might not be relevant to delivering the pitch. It's probably right. Did I mention that I have ADHD? I should probably go back to telling you about the app. It uses AI to determine whether a website is relevant to the work you're doing. If it's not, it lets you save the page to view after work, or you can block it completely. Distraction blocking isn't a new concept. Many other apps do part of what Focus Bear does. What's different about us is our focus on neurodiversity, our holistic approach, which includes daily habits and rituals, and our support of all platforms, desktop and mobile, because blocking on one device isn't enough. If I start focusing on my computer, I want my phone to be free of distractions too. The app also prepares the brain for productivity through a unique approach to habit formation. It guides you through a morning routine, one habit at a time, reducing overwhelm. The app is live in the market and we've had rave reviews from the community. We've got paying customers with excellent retention. Our business model is a monthly subscription starting at $5 per month for consumers. I've got an outstanding team building the app with me. I'm an experienced founder with a successful exit. Manish, our lead developer, has 20 years of experience. And most of our other team members are neurodivergent and can thus empathize with our customers. We're opening a $750K fundraising round to bring Focus Bear to B2B. We've had some promising initial conversations with businesses and we'll be refining the product with features like a Slack and Microsoft Teams integration, hiring a B2B sales specialist, and investing in marketing. The round will allow us to grow to 10,000 paying customers. To learn more, visit focusbear.io/invest. Together, we can help neurodivergent people thrive in the workplace.
The presentation ends and Felipa appears.
What a spectacular group of startups we have present today. I'm sure you'll agree, they did an incredible job and are having a massive impact on our world. But today is not just about passively watching. We can all help support and amplify the work of these entrepreneurs.
Molly Levitt.
That's right. So don't be afraid to reach out to the founders you heard from tonight. Now, before we wrap things up, a number of you watching tonight may have your own startup brewing. If you're ready to take the next step in solving a problem in the disability and aging space, we'd love to support your journey. You can sign up for updates on application launch or book a meeting with one of the Remarkable team members to start this conversation. More info will be shared on this with you tomorrow, so make sure to check your inbox.
Before we go, on behalf of Remarkable, Cerebral Palsy Alliance, and Cerebral Palsy Alliance Research Foundation, I would like to thank our incredible partners, Telstra Foundation, iCare New South Wales, Viv Court, TPG Telecom Foundation, and the Ian Potter Foundation for making this event possible. And to you, for joining us today, for your support to create a more accessible and inclusive future.
Words read, we accelerate disability tech. www.remarkable.org. Made possible by Cerebral Palsy Alliance and Cerebral Palsy Alliance Research Foundation.